Hi, everyone. My name is Terry Jones, and I'm here with Explore Mixed Media with Corrine Carpino and Laurie Williams.
Hi.
Morning.
Hi, everyone. My name is Terry Jones, and I've got to turn it off. Okay, so now it's off. I know we're live, and it's off on my computer. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to use more unusual collage elements or other elements to attach to a piece, to a painting. So, Corrine, do you have anything you want to say, or are we just starting?
No, I've just got all kinds of stuff around me and we'll see what works.
Okay, so then let's go down and look
Okay.
at all of our messes.
Yep.
Because that's exactly what I've got. I've got all sorts of stuff around me, and we'll see how it works. So this is one that I did yesterday as a kind of a experiment. And what I've got is I've got some embroidery thread, I've got pieces of paper, or pieces of fabric that I put in there. I used some stencils. I used some negative painting and all sorts of things to get this little pretty, and I'm not quite sure what it is, but I think I'm going to name it A Day at the Beach. So that's what that one is. So here I've got, what I did was I did one of my big pieces and I cut it up. So it looks like that's kind of the same thing that you've done. You have a bigger piece that you've cut down, Corrine. Is that
Yes, it was one of the big pieces that we created together
right?
earlier
Yeah.
this month.
Yep. Same
So,
here.
and that's the same here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use, and in interest of time, I'm going to keep it a little on the small side. So what size are you working on, Corrine?
Mine's 8 by 8.
Yeah, mine's 7 by 7.
Okay.
And
And mine's
so
about 6 by 9, I think.
okay, well, we all got about the same size. So what I thought we would explore today is more non-traditional things that we can put in. And I got all sorts of non-traditional pieces here. I've got some different paper that I have jelly painted on. I've got some paper here that I've put some gold gold leaf on. This paper, I think I made years ago, and it has leaves in it. I've got fabric. This is a batik fabric. I've got maybe a heart in the shape of, this is gauze, so it's totally see-through. I'm thinking of putting a heart in here and all sorts of other things. So that's kind of where I'm starting. How about you guys?
I'll go first. I have a background. This is actually from last week and I cut it into 4 pieces.
Yeah.
Picked out one. I just brought a few things with me. I got some modeling case. I got some metal flakes,
Oh, cool.
ribbon.
Excellent.
And these are some things that I've received like in packaging, because when I get unusual packaging material, I usually save it. And I've been saving this forever.
Oh, it looks fabulous.
Thin and crumply it is. And then this is like a mesh fabric that's see-through.
Yeah, yeah, cool. That's like you have a red, I have purple, and you have red in the same fabric. And look, Karina, it looks like you're using some old
I
paper
saved this
towel.
piece of paper towel from inking with alcohol ink, and I was like, oh, the colors pretty much go. So
Yeah.
I have that. I have this piece of I don't know, it's a handmade paper. I have this little piece of looks like it's sort of lacy.
Yeah, it came in a pack.
I've
I have the
got
same pack, the same paper.
I have some mulberry paper that is dyed with alcohol ink. I had found some scraps of that plus some plain. I've got some gauze. I don't know what I'm going to do with that, or organza. This is some more dyed mulberry paper. And I have some music I put on just stamped on paper. And then I have a lot of texture paper I made.
Yeah.
So
Oh, cool.
I have all of this texture paper and I thought somehow I would use that in there. And then I do have some gold leaf. I've got some crackle paint, which would take a time to dry and crackle, and texture paste. And I've got my Posca pen. So I have plenty to try to figure out what to do with.
Let's go for it then. So
Okay.
we're all probably going to be fairly silent as we begin to place different elements on our pieces. So let's just go for it. And I am one that will place a whole bunch of elements and then change my mind and go to different things. But we'll see how this works.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking to see, is there a pathway I can create through
Right.
here and add things? And I'm kind of seeing if I come up this way and then maybe through here, just so it makes some sense.
That's about what I'm kind of trying to do, and I'm looking at the different elements that I might want to put in it.
Mhm.
And see, what happens with different elements and even maybe laying elements on top of elements. So
Mhm.
I'm just doing my exploration first, and then I'll go
Right.
from there. I do like this little heart. It might be a little big for this area, but I do like the idea of it. And I like the see-through heart with the words in it. So
It's pretty.
I may start kind of with that over here, kind of as a focal point, and then end up putting more in the heart or some embroidery of some kind. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing. I love this piece of paper, but I really want to make it gold.
Yeah,
So,
so I found this cut out of a butterfly. I don't know what I had done it for. So I'm thinking I put my butterfly up here. I might change the color of it, but
yeah.
and then kind of lead up to it.
Yeah. So
Or
I am
I
in,
also love this.
yeah, I love this area down here. I'm in my studio in town, so there might be a little,
Background.
yes, there might be natural background.
Okay.
People are walking through as we speak. So, okay, I am really loving this deep. This is a piece of fabric that I just kind of have frayed. And I'm thinking that I want to get this in here too at some point. I like this deep color and it works well with some of these colors here. So as I'm just beginning, we'll see how I like whatever. So I like this here. I'm liking this. Okay. And I do love fraying little pieces of fabric and getting these edges coming off. So
Hmm.
I think that's a great way of adding texture to my piece. I've got a little bit of that happening. I'm thinking that I want to add a word to my heart and put the heart in there, but I got to fray more on my fabric. Okay. Oh, and this also does this. I just noticed it does something else. No, all right. Okay. So I'm actually going to start by just putting the heart down because I have to make a decision somewhere, right?
Right.
So
Right.
that's my first decision is to put the heart down. And I want the heart to be see-through. And I know from experience, this heart goes a little darker. So I'm going to put it on the back of the heart first. Let me get some in here. And then see what happens if I throw the heart right in here. So it's just a mesh and it's going to take up this space in here. And I think I'm going to put more in the heart, but I just want the idea of the heart there. And then I'm thinking, I don't know why, but I'm thinking I want to put this little piece kind of down in the bottom, like there's brass. I'm going to make the heart into, I don't know what, but I like the idea of this little piece down in the bottom. And it's so weird, my thing's doing the backwards thing again. So as I look up and see what I'm doing, it looks wrong, but that's okay. So I've got my heart here. And I am going to end up. So I'm really liking this piece of fabric, this dark indigo fabric too. So I'm wondering what happens. Ooh, that's pretty, Laurie. If
Yeah.
I put a little bit of dark indigo fabric right here and keep a reflection. I almost want to cut it in more pieces so reflection comes through. So sometimes I get too complicated, but that's,
Mhm.
I think I'm currently getting a little too complicated. Things aren't ripped them to rip. So I may end up cutting them. So when I'm using fabric in this, there's two things that I'll find out. Some of the fabric, the dyes aren't, will move, which
Aha.
sometimes I like and sometimes I don't like. So I'm thinking with my fabric here that I want an illusion of water. And I'm making kind of an abstract landscape, I guess. And we'll see how this works. I love this fabric because I love the patterns of the spirals in it. And I love the top fabric because it looks like grass. And I also want, I think, a little bit of ripply stuff. So let's just go for it, Terry. I'm using a very heavy duty. I'm using the heavy matte medium because if I'm trying to put something like fabric down, it doesn't always stick very well.
Now, you're using matte medium or you're using modeling base?
I'm actually using matte medium for this, but do you see how thick it is? This is what is called it's called heavy duty matte medium, which is designed to put stuff like fabric or heavier objects on. So it'll dry here, but I like the look of the almost, I frayed the fabric so it looks like grass. And I'm making it more, I'm kind of forcing it into more gaps so it looks more like grass with the matte medium.
So I pulled out my matte medium too, or mine's actually a gel, it's matte gel.
Yeah, this is a gel and it's the heavy medium, which takes a bit to dry.
Right.
But then I'm going to put more of this. I like this dark blue indigo color, like there's ripples in water down here, like there's a pond down here. And there's a reflection, or at least in my imagination, that's what it's going to be. And it's my imagination that counts, right?
Well,
That's right.
Because in my imagination, this is what it's going to look like. And I want to put a little bit of ripply see-through, maybe even touching in places. You see how I'm getting really ripply with this. So there's some kind of a foundation on a bottom here. So we have sales going on in here. Somebody just bought some ornaments.
Yay.
Yay. Sales are always good. Okay, so now I think that I want to get more pieces in here. And I love this little piece of paper too, which is, it looks like it's got all this texture in it. And it looks like, I'm thinking it's going to make it look like fields, but I may be wrong. But in my mind, again, it's all my mind. I'm going to take this texture here. I do actually have a twig here to use as a tree, but I'm not sure if it's going to make the cut with what I'm doing right this moment. So I got to figure out where my heart is. I have to figure out where my heart is. That's an interesting problem. Figuring out. There I go. So I want to I'm cutting my heart out.
Uh-oh.
I know, I'm just cutting around my heart, actually. I'm giving my heart room to breathe. There I go.
You're cracking me up, Terry.
Huh?
You're cracking me up.
I don't even know what I'm doing here. I'm getting a little too linear, but that's okay. I'm putting more on. I love how this bold background, I'm thinking that it is kind of, see how this becomes kind of see-through? I love how this bold background works with other pieces here. I'm gonna bring this a little. When I got it wet, it stretched a little bit, but that's okay. Nice. Whoops. So here I go with this. And that's gives another layer of something. So now I need some, I need to still, I gotta find my heart still. So I'm going to find my heart, but how I'm thinking I'm going to eventually find my heart is I'm going to do some negative painting around. But this is just helping me right now define where my heart is. And so again, I'm going to use some texture as maybe some clouds up here. So, and I can decide textures going, be anything. I really want to put some better, what is it? Of course, today we have loud children. Very rarely does that happen, but
Okay.
okay. I'm putting this down next. Has more texture up top, like clouds. I kind of like it. And I'm going to put a little more. So my heart's partially in the clouds.
Aw.
Oh, isn't that good? My heart's in the clouds. Maybe it is a cloud or it is a flower. I'm not sure. I'm thinking of putting some flowers in with some some of this stuff.
This has to be painted if I'm going to use it.
I
Well-
know.
Trying to use my brush on top of some things and that just did not. It was picking up where I had matted down because it's not dry and because we're working kind of quickly here.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
know.
I'm finger painting because I can control it that way.
Well, and I am
That works.
nice, Corinne.
Also,
Thanks.
I can bring color where I want it within the page to draw.
Right.
Right, that's kind of what I'm gonna do with these cloudy things that this fiber that I'm putting up here. I'm going to, this is very fibrous. And I'm going to make it so afterwards I'm going to hit it with a little bit of some kind of probably color. I like that. And so now I think I'm going to do a little bit of, I might even do a little bit of sewing, but I don't know. How's our time going? Oh, we still have 10 minutes, well, 8 minutes.
Excellent.
Oh, your butterfly is luscious green.
Oh, thanks. I had it cut out of a piece of paper. I found it in, the stash. And so
Uh-huh.
I added a little bit of lime green or, green yellow, much like lime green paint to it because I had that in this. And just did a light coat so you can still see the pattern that was underneath. I'll do some more stuff to it later, but I gotta wait for all this to dry.
Right, and that is one of my issues is I also have to wait for some of this to dry.
So of course I'm
But,
going for the garden theme, the butterfly, flowers, little
right,
rock
and
garden
I'm
in the
going for
bottom.
the heart music and the landscape theme.
Yeah,
With the fields and maybe a lake down here, I'm not sure what it is, and the grass. And because it just seems like that's my theme a lot. And I may actually go with some actual thread, but we'll see. I might, now I have to find my needle. See, I organize myself so well. I really want to use some of this too. Maybe I'll make mountains out of this. Oh, that's what I'll
is
do.
that fabric?
Yes, isn't that beautiful?
Yes, did you make that on the gel plate?
No, I bought this fabric years ago
Huh.
when I was doing I don't know what I don't know what I was doing. I just fell in love with it. Look at it. It's just gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely gorgeous. But I'm thinking I want to make mountains out of, or kind of mountainy stuff out of this. So I am going to kind of cut it like there's a mountain or hills here.
Boy, that's
And
so pretty.
it is really pretty. So I'm gonna, and then I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on this level here. And I'm going to cut my around my heart here. And then see how that is going to end up like this. And then this one is going to kind of end up, I've got to get this one to get my heart. Okay, so this I'm going to go through like this and put another level in. And I am going to, then in the end, I'm going to do some stitchery, but I'm going to have to wait till this dries a little bit to do
Mhm.
the stitchery. But I think I'm gonna do some stitchery and some stitchery of flowers in there. So I'm gonna put this down as mountains. And so it's gonna come down a little bit into my. Isn't that pretty flower? It's just such pretty. Okay. So Neil, got that down. How are we doing on time? We've got 6 minutes, girls.
Okay.
Okay. So. Do I need? I'm looking. Okay, I think I need more. So I'm planning on putting music somewhere. I'm thinking I'm putting some music in my heart. But I'm also going to put maybe, that's too bright, too bright. Oh, well, this is going to end up with some more. Some color in it with that. Oh, Lori, I love yours. I think we should probably take a break and discuss where we are and then kind of end it because we only have 3 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I am, I was thinking of this as kind of a landscape. I may still put another, oh, I love what you're doing too there, Corinne. I may put another piece of that same fabric in here to give it the idea of a landscape. And I'm going to put some small flowers in here by using some, I'm going to stitch it in. I'm going to kind of stitch around my heart and I'm going to put some music in the heart. And I'm going to use, I'm going to end up with some negative painting in here to give me the sense of sky and colorful clouds. I could do some of the negative painting right here. What are you guys going to do?
I'm gonna use fabric, this mesh fabric.
Uh-huh.
That's kind of red colored. And also this, really interesting packing material that's like,
Right.
and I put that down. I needed a focal point and I couldn't think of anything. And so what I did is I went to my napkin stack and found this napkin.
It's
Ooh.
beautiful.
And
Beautiful.
rows and set it here in this kind of bottom lower right quadrant and figured I would work around that. So I'm adding some color. This is definitely going to be my focal point. I'm gonna build up some more texture. I think I'll get some stencils and modeling paste to build up and then add the color on top. And then I'll come back at the end and accent the flower and the little butterfly down here to stand out by going around it with probably some of the charcoal so I could blend it out and then vignetting the outside.
Well, excellent. And you, Corinne? Have you
I
gotten?
am, no, I'm not done.
Yeah,
I'm gonna probably add a couple more flowers, which then I'll go in with probably some acrylic ink or paint after this dries and kind of enhance these paper towel flowers. I'm gonna do something to enhance the butterfly. So everything is supposed to kind of, for me, it's kind of representing gardens. So I have to get some more flowers in, butterfly, kind of a rock wall or something down here. So I will flesh that out with the rest of the materials that I have. But I need to wait for this layer to dry at this point.
yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at. I really have to wait for this layer to dry. I've put a little bit of a background in here, but I still have to develop the mountains. And then I'm going to go in and use some stitchery
Mhm.
to develop stuff. And I'm trying to figure out, I think I'm going to put some somehow either tint with gold or put some gold in my heart and then put the music. And then I'm also going to maybe even embroider some music in the paper. I'm not quite sure yet, but I like the words coming in, but I also want music coming out. So we will see. But this was fun. I love all of the different elements of it. Right now, it's kind of too wet for me to do the embroidery stuff. One of the things that I did find out when I was trying to put stitchery through things with a needle is that if it's wet, it doesn't,
Yeah.
it tears kind of. It doesn't, the needles aren't really nice and clear through it.
My
But
question, I've not actually tried to stitch through mixed media artwork, but I would think once it's dry completely, that the matte medium hardens so much, isn't it kind of tricky or hard to get it to the needle to punch through?
it is a little hard to get the needle to punch through. So I do it almost between layers. In other words, I don't wait till the very, but like I can get it at this level, it's still pretty flexible enough that
Right.
it'll work.
I
Um,
wonder if a sewing
but
would work, you know, because it's or would it break the needles? I don't know. It depends on your
it doesn't break the needle as long as you don't have, as long as you have sharp needles. I mean, I did try it with an embroidery needle instead of, so there's different kinds of needles. There's sharps and
Right.
like embroidery needles. And embroidery needles are designed so that they have a round tip so they won't snag anything.
Mm-hmm.
That did not work.
Okay.
But there's something called sharps.
Hmm.
You can get a large eye sharp and use that needle, and that will work. I usually make a small hole in the front and then, because then I can see what I'm doing. So I'll take the needle and I'll put here's a needle here. I'll make a small hole in the front. So like this right now, I could actually go through it if I want with a small hole in the front and you can see the hole.
Mm-hmm.
Then I will come from the back, usually with the thread.
Right.
Hmm.
So it
Because-
works. It's just that you have to be very intentional with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
So I think that's it, guys.
All right. Well, thank
Um,
you. This was fun.
Thanks so much for joining me. I think as per usual, we all have our own unique and different art that has our voice.
Hmm.
So that is one of the things that amazes me most about all of this.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining me, and we will end this. Okay?
Okay. Thanks so much for leading us. This was fun.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.